Hi everybody, this is the IB probability and set theory package. This is example 3 from the set theory part, using Venn diagrams and probability problems. Okay, so in a class of 30 students, 19 study physics, 17 study chemistry, and 15 study both of these subjects. Okay, display this information on a Venn diagram and hence determine the probability that a randomly selected class member, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so they're giving us this information here, but the first thing we got to do is go over here and fill in our information. Now, first of all, just off to the side here, I'm going to put 30 because the question says, the question says that there are 30 students in this class. Okay, well that's my universe. Then they say, the question says quite clearly that 15 study both, so that's 15 in the middle here. But then it tells me that 19 study physics. Now, that means in this circle here, there has to be a total of 19. Well, there's already 15 in this part of it, which means there has to be just 4 here left over. In chemistry, we're told that 17 students study chemistry. So 17 students have to be in this circle. There's already 15 here, which means there has to be 2 left over here. Now, when you take a look at these 3 values here, okay, 15 and 4 is 19, and 2 is 21. But there should be 30 students total, which means there are 9 students not taken into account in this bit of information here. So there's 9 students that don't study either physics or chemistry. And so here we go. Now let's take a look at the questions we're being asked here. How many study both subjects? Well, that's actually not even really a terribly hard question, because the question tells us right there, 15 study both. So that shouldn't take any effort at all, 15. B says at least one of the subjects. Okay, well that's this group right here. Okay, that includes people that study just physics, just chemistry, or that study both. And we'd already previously looked at this and realized that that covered 21 people. Okay, how about those that study physics but not chemistry? Okay, so here's our physics circle right here. But this is the group that study chemistry, so it's just this part right here that study physics, excluding chemistry. So we can read that right off, and the answer is 4. How many study exactly one of these subjects here? Well, we're not including this group right here because they don't study either. And we're not including this group right here because they study both. We want exactly one of the subjects. So that's going to be the 4 and the 2 for a total of 6. Neither subject, well, that's the easy one because we've been talking about that for a while here. That's 9. And how about how many study chemistry if it is... you know what? I've been doing this a little bit wrong here. Wow, making mistakes left and right here, but I'm catching them. Okay, chemistry if it is known that the subject studies physics. Okay, well, we already know that the student studies physics. Okay, how many of them study chemistry? Well, there's 15 in there that do that. Now, here's the error that I've made, okay? And I hope somebody has caught it out there, because I did make an error here. Not in any of the math that I've done here, but just looking at the question, okay? It says, determine the probability that a randomly selected class member. Oh, okay, well, probability. Now, for most of these questions, that's going to be quite easy, because now what I'm going to do is come around and say, well, that's out of 30, 1/2. Okay, this is going to be out of 30. So that's going to be 7/10 out of 30. So what's that going to be? That's going to be 2/15 out of 30. Well, that's going to be 1/5 out of 30. Okay, whoops, sorry, out of 30. Well, divide those by 3, it's going to be 3/10. Now, what clued me in that I screwed this up, I directed my attention to this, was this question right here. Because chemistry, if it is known that the student studies physics. Well, when you do that, this is leaning towards conditional probability. We already know that the student studies physics. So what we're doing in this question is we are essentially eliminating everything else and we are just looking at the group of people that study physics. Okay? So in the physics group, okay, there are 19 people total. 15 of them study chemistry. So this is going to be 15 out of 19. So in this particular case here, because of the way the question's worded, we alter what our sample space is. It's no longer the whole class. It's no longer 30. It's just that group of 19.